This is my favorite unknown parenting book.
You're doing a good
job. Well, anyway, we just kind of walk through and pick out some books.
Yeah. I know. I have a lot of.
And then you have quite a few designs.
Whoa.
We sell a lot of them.
You do?
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. This is the parenting section, which I'm sure you've already read all this stuff.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Have you read this? This is my favorite unknown parenting book. So Kafka has this terrible relationship with his father, and he writes this letter, all the things he wishes he could have communicated to this sort of imperious, overbearing man, and then he sends it to his mom, and then his mom sends it back, doesn't give it to his dad. But it's very moving. It's a great lesson in what not to be, kind of parent you would like. How do you not have your kids write that letter? That's the goal of parenting. Oh, God, right. It's really good. I like it a lot.
Okay, thank you.
You probably don't want any other parenting books. What? Although
I do read a lot of them for work, but I enjoy it.
You probably like most of these. Are there any what parenting books would you say that I'm missing? Can you think? What is there anything you've read recently that you're like, this deserve? Because the idea of the bookstore is it's only our favorite books or great, amazing books, not everything in the category, but these are the classics in that genre.
Yeah. Okay.
So can you think of any?
Yeah. So let's see. Do you have Lisa D'Amour's books?
No.
The Emotional Lives of Teenagers is really good.
Okay.
And actually, I would say you're ready for that now with an 8-year-old.
Emotional Lives of Teenagers. All right.
So that's good. I really like Claire Lerner has some books for parents of younger kids that's all about avoiding power struggles.
Okay.
So she has Why Is My Child in Charge?
Oh.
And then she has another one coming out for parents of highly sensitive kids.
Oh.
Coming out in July maybe. She's great.
Okay.
She's just super practical and I don't know, her stuff really, her strategies really work.
All right, I'll do those.
So I definitely recommend those. And one more. Emily Edlin wrote a book, Autonomy Supportive Parenting, that I love.
Yeah, okay, that's what you want. You want autonomous people, right?
We know that autonomy supportive parenting works, and it's hard to do. And she's really thoughtful.
Well, sometimes I when I sign the Daily Dad, I cross out kids because it's what is the subtitle? The subtitle is what's this one? Parenting, love, and raising great kids, and I just cross out kids and I write adults because that's what you're doing. You're not trying to raise a child.
Yeah.
Right. You want them to be an adult. And you're trying to teach them how to be an adult.
Right. This was always an issue with the title of my first book, How to Raise Kids Who Aren't Assholes. People would say, but are you talking about asshole adults or asshole kids? And I'm like, well, kids are always going to be assholes. That's their job.
Yes.
They don't have a frontal lobe. They
right.
don't know
They
don't have any skills, right? And so it's no, this is how to raise kids who don't grow up to be assholes. Yeah.
Well, Cheryl Strayed was, we just did it remote, not in person, but she was saying that, or one of my favorite quotes from her, she says, you're becoming who you're going to become, so you might as well not be an asshole. And the idea is you can't, you can't be an asshole and then suddenly not be one. It's a thing you are doing, not a thing you inherently are.
Right.
Correct.
It's a practice. Yeah.
And so, you don't raise an adult by making them a child, right? It's this process of becoming the thing you want them to be.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's one of my mantras is what can I do right now to raise the adult I want to be? Sorry, I didn't say that very well, but it's thinking ahead to
Totally, because a lot of the things you want your kids to do, listen, not talk back, just go along with it. These are all horrible traits in adults. Would I want my 25-year-old to just listen to whatever some dude in their life says? Of course not, right? That's how you end up in a cult, right? And so a lot of the things that drive you nuts as a parent are in fact exactly what you would need in a kid, but then you're stomping that thing out.
Right. Yeah, so much bad behavior is actually behavior you want to be seeing in kids. And I wrote a piece for the New York Times that was I forget the title, but it was something like why your kid's bad behavior is actually really good or something.
Yes.
People had a lot of strong feelings about it, but also their bad behavior is a sign of feeling safe with you, And so a lot of kids who were super complacent, in generations past, it was because they're fear-based parenting. They're terrified of their parents. And
this is my wife, Samantha, by the way. Did you get the dog?
Hi.
You got the dog? She's the one that told me about your book, I think.
I think that's right. I remember. Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Love this.
Oh,
It's gorgeous.
What kind of books do you like? So we don't have to just do parenting books.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I love fiction. I love like
That's all her
mysteries.
domain.
Yeah. I love like British mysteries.
Oh, like have you read Veronica Speedwell novels?
No.
It's like British, but like Regency, but she's the. I'm trying to think of a one that's
Do we have
like.
any?
Like thriller. Yeah,
too.
any kind of thriller.
It does a
that's,
little
like,
like thriller.
set in Ireland or England or.
That one's kind of more fun. Oh, you had Wild Dark Shores. Have you read that one?
Oh yeah, have you read that? You know, okay, you know the country,
No.
you know, like when Trump announced all the tariffs and they were like, that island doesn't have any people on it, has only penguins. That's a real island, and this book is about these people who are like working in this sort of, there's like a seed library on the island, like in case the world explodes and we could replant all the plants. Anyways, the premise of the book is they're on this like desolate island, the only people there, and then a woman just washes the shore. Like
Oh wow.
but yeah, it's crazy. It's really good. It's our book club pick this month.
Oh
Might
cool.
look at-
Okay.
pick that one.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get this too.
But you said Irish. Have you read Sam? Who's the other woman?
Are you
Have you read Small Things Like These? Is that what it's
Claire
called?
Keegan?
Yeah, have you read Claire Keegan?
I haven't.
Ooh, this one's and it's kind of a
Many
parenting
books
book
to
in
read.
disguise.
Those are my
Right.
favorite parenting books.
This one's amazing and very short. Like you can finish that on the plane.
We don't have that first though.
Oh, we don't.
Awesome.
Yeah, that one's really good. Oh, have you read Everything is Tuberculosis? We've been reading that too.
No.
I would actually, these are two. So this one's really good.
Am I the only person who says no to every question?
No.
If you say, have you read this?
No. Well, it just came out. This book's incredible. That's John Green, you know, like Fault in Our Stars and whatever. But it's about tuberculosis, which you wouldn't think would be interesting, but he's
No, I
obsessed
would be.
with.
I've read a lot about immunology and stuff.
Yeah,
so actually,
really good.
I would love this. Thank you.
And then, I mean,
Fine.
like, how many people do you think tuberculosis killed every year?
Oh God. I don't know.
It's like over 1 million people.
Is it?
But it's like we've cured tuberculosis. And so his point is that we could live in a world where no one dies of tuberculosis, but we've chosen not to live in that world.
Oh,
to go to your
interesting.
point about assholes, right?
Yeah.
Like we could do something about it, we've done something about it. And the problem is by not doing something about it, we will almost certainly, probably in our lifetimes, get antibiotic resistant tuberculosis
Sure.
because we're not doing anything about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's really good.
Wow. Oh God, I remember getting like tuberculosis tests every time I went to the pediatrician as a kid.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Like the little. I don't do that anymore.
Well, I wrote my first book when we lived in New Orleans, and I was riding my bike one day, and I passed this huge brick building, and it says like blah 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 tuberculosis hospital. It's like they had their own hospitals, and then they're like, yeah, because it was like one of the #1 killers of people, and it was this thing that we just didn't have any idea that you like.
Yeah.
It was a death sentence, you know,
Yeah.
and I mean it still is, unfortunately, but yeah, it's really good. And then I've been. How are you thinking about AI in your kids? This book I think is really interesting. It just came out. He's at NYU.
Oh yeah.
Oh. We did that one too. Yeah. No. It's pretty solid.
Yes, that's true.
But yeah, just that one's in my reading list this month.
So what's his?
Well,
you haven't.
the idea is like people who can figure out how to use it as a form of co-intelligence will be able to thrive and be better, and then people who can't figure it out or people who think it can just do stuff for you, both of those are the
Right.
wrong way to think about it.
Okay.
And so like I think about it a lot with my kids, like how do we, like his point is that it's all about like what you can get out of it, right?
Yeah.
And so like how do you learn how to get stuff out of it, you know? And so we do a lot of stuff like, oh, you want to know about that? Let's like figure it out. But then, well, I don't know if that sounds right. Now we have to like check that, you know, like the process of using it, but then also not being credulous,
Right,
you know? And
right.
like, what is it good for? What is it not good for? And then what does it spur? Like I just had this big conversation with my son because he asked it to draw, like we do it for like a lot of art stuff. Like it's like, draw me a picture of Pokemon doing X, Y, or Z so then I can color it, you know? And like it said that it couldn't because of copyright. And this is like the first time he's interacting with
Yeah.
the limit, like, oh, what does that mean? And then so we had like an hour conversation about how copyright works and how copyright paid for this house, you know, if people could just use whatever, and then at the same time, by the way, it actually does, like Facebook took all my books along with most authors, and so like, you know, talking about, and so also how do you use it How do you use this stuff that's happening in the world to have, like we were talking about, these sort of larger discussions about how the world works and how people
Right.
work? And anyways, it's pretty
I
good.
like that there's a woman who studies like kids and technology and the relationship, and she talks a lot about like we tend to have harm-driven expectations about technology where
Sure.
we like assume it's going to be bad. We think that we need to protect and take away, like, you know, be paternalistic with the way we protect kids and stuff. And I feel like, and then there's opportunity-driven expectations, which is like, how do we maximize the benefits and minimize the harms and find, you know, and recognize that there's good and bad that comes out of this. And that seems
what is
very
it?
relevant
They're
to,
more like, what can it do for me? And
Yeah.
they're like, well, it threatens all these other things, and they don't know any of those things exist, so they
Yeah.
don't care that much.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. All right, well, we just gotta take a picture and then.
Awesome.
I read a lot. It's sort of my job. You can't write without reading. For almost 15 years now, once a month, I send out an email with my favorite book recommendations for that month. Books that I've been reading, books that I've been going through, books that changed my life, that inspired me, that I think connect to what's happening in the world. And you can sign up right now at ryanholiday.net/reading list.